the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, has now come out and they put their rates up this week by another 0.75. Now, of course, they've got a much higher inflation rate than us. But they're saying, but it's not really a recession because, unemployment's still really low. The economy basically is in good shape. So we don't really have a recession as such. Let's just unpack that a little bit. How important is this technical recession business? Or are they just politicizing the situation, trying to protect the Democrats? What's going on? I mean, is Dr. Jim Chalmers going to say the same thing here if we get 2 negative quarters?
Yeah.
What's going on? Recession.
Recession is a label that someone invented many, many years ago about an economy, and the conventional definition, not agreed to by everyone, by the way, of 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP is a recession, a technical recession, if you like. Not everybody agrees with that because it depends a little bit what country you're in. So, for example, if you had 2 negative quarters of GDP in China, you would be. But arguably, if you had 2 quarters in a row of +1 in China, it would feel like a recession for China because it's usually growing at 5 and 6 and 7%.
Yep.
So it depends a little bit. The thing that I think genuinely captures a recession is obviously partly economic growth, really important part of any definition, but it's what happens to your labour market. And we know that unemployment does change behind the economy. The economy slows down, 3 or 6 months later, the unemployment rate goes up normally. And that hasn't happened in the US or Australia or anywhere yet. So I think if you're going to say...
So I can stop you there for a second, because what we're saying is in the US, because this is not happening in Australia, we have not had negative quarters in Australia at this stage. They're saying we are having negative quarters, but we have unemployment of 3.5%.
Correct.
That's your point.
And it hasn't increased yet.
Yep.
So there's little bit of labeling of this economic circumstance. The economy's slowing. Things are tough for some people. That's the thing. Whether it's a recession or not, for some people it will feel like one, even if it's not actually one in the US.